Hello, 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 and welcome to Battle 2. Let's play TFTC Reimagined. This is the first mission of Battle 2 we're going to do today. This is the Sepan Civil War, where the Dimok and the Ripoblus are fighting each other, and we've come to impose order on a chaotic galaxy and bring peace to the war-torn system of Sepan. This battle, I think, is a favourite for quite a few people, certainly the original. Both rival factions, and personally, not one of my favourites, but I do think it's a good example of why TIE Fighter, I think, is quite enjoyed by many. Because it presents a different side to the Empire, other than just being stupidly evil. And that is your objective here, is to bring peace.
Back the Dimok attacks. Once we've destroyed
the tactics of the Empire here are fairly restrained. They basically just want to, they don't want to utterly crush or destroy these people. The point here is just you come in, you stop any attacks, you make them, and you force them to withdraw. Because you want to show that we're in control here, we're not going to accept this fight, and we want to bring you to the peace table. And from a narrative point of view, I think that's quite interesting. It's not all about just the Empire being evil and doing evil things from the perspective, certainly, of Palpatine and Vader and whatnot. But this is the everyday grunt work, normal day-to-day operations of the Empire in trying to bring order to a chaotic galaxy. Regardless of it being an evil authoritarian dictatorship, as I said, from a narrative point of view, I always thought this was interesting.
Do as your commander orders, but pay attention to everything around you. Inspect the cargo containers of the convoy if you get the opportunity. Admiral Harkup's performance so far has not been all the Emperor had hoped for. Conflicting reports give us reason to believe everything is not as it seems in this civil war.
So one thing about the original TIE Fighter story, I think they made a bit of a mistake with, is revealing in that very first cutscene that Harkov is wanting to be a traitor. I think it would have been more interesting if the hints were there, like you just heard there. There's hints that Harkov is not really performing as expected. There's some suspicions about him, but we already know that he's a traitor, and that kind of takes some of the mystery out of it.
to drive off.
So I think that was perhaps a narrative mistake on their part. I didn't change it for Reimagined because I wanted to keep the original cutscenes in and everything, so it stands as it is.
The Dimoks are to be driven off, not annihilated. So be sure to let...
So another thing with the this campaign, there's a lot more new ships here, and in particular, because these are two third-party factions, I wanted them to have older ships, in particular Clone War era ships, and so they have acclimator cruisers and old Y-Wings, V-Wings, Commerce Guild Destroyer, Recusant class, I think. And yeah, it's something different for Reimagined. You're fighting a wider variety of ships.
Attention all Ripoblus and Dimok craft. This is Imperial space. You are hereby ordered to stand down or face the consequences.
So there you can hear our new Admiral Harkov voice over set, which we added to version 1.2, added by a professional voice actor, I shall say. His name is Christian. And yeah, his absolutely superb work in redoing the Harkov voice.
TIE Fighter Alpha, engage the Dimok Y-Wings, coded blue in the CMD.
Perfect timbre and bass, and that kind of sneering superiority that we might expect from Imperial leaders. So yeah, absolutely fantastic work. I think one of our best voiceovers. It's far better than anything I could do, certainly. So much like in Battle 1, this is just an evolution of the original classic version of this. It's the same thing. You rescue the convoy, it's just a bigger convoy, there's more stuff going on. A couple of different ships, obviously. Instead of a MC-40 Calamari cruiser, you got the Acclimator cruiser in its place. There's a Corellian gunship instead of a corvette, I think. Can't actually remember if there was a corvette in the original. But yeah, there's a gunship instead.
Another bandit down.
You may also notice that, yeah, the Star Destroyer Protector has a frigate with it called the Akaga. Now, if you're pretty familiar with the campaign, you might know that the frigate Akaga only shows up in Battle 7, and that ship is helping the traitor forces of Harkov, at least what's left of his, the Protector, is trying to help him. I knew that in doing this, I wanted to end the battle on a climactic fight, a big battle, and I wanted to increase, again, showing the military strength of the Empire. So, because he's an admiral, I decided he should have a bigger task force. At least certainly in this case, he has the frigate escorting his Star Destroyer.
Wow!
But going forward, you will always see the Akaga with the Protector for as long as this fleet exists, all the way up to Battle 7. But I'll talk a bit more about this certainly when we get to the last mission in this battle, because we add a few more ships to Harkov's fleet, and I significantly change things here, which will have an impact on Battles 5 and 7, particularly narratively speaking, going forward. So yeah, again, watch those cargo ferries. In a TIE fighter in this mission, you are just dead if you get struck by them.
This is one. I've got a starship firing
But just time it well, watch from when they're starting to really get crushed, and then just try and get in there, sneak in that last kill.
Primary target update. Their shields are out. This is 3. I've got a starship firing at me. Report on primary.
I think the flow of this mission could be a little better. If you don't help the transports, weaken the shields of those freighters, it can affect the triggers a little bit and make you just sit there waiting, doing nothing for a little while. So I tend to just help them out by taking down the shields so they can disable it quicker, and that sort of ends up triggering more the rest of the mission quicker, and making the flow of battle feel better. So here we have the Y-Wing B-types, which are Clone War eras, and we had a lot of problems with these, because they have a rotating turret, much like the, or at least, yeah, a turret that can fly, and there you go, I just got hit by it. In a TIE fighter, all it takes is 2 of these hits, and you're dead. In an interceptor, you get 3. It only fires from the dorsal, no, am I right? Yeah, dorsal. Dorsal's top, ventral's bottom. The dorsal side of the fighter, so if it's facing you from underneath, you won't get hit by it.
Starfighter attack.
But it does mean you have to be very, very, very careful engaging them, because once they've taken a few hits, they will start targeting you. They're not nearly as tanky as a normal Y-Wing, and we changed the rate of fire so it's like once every 3 or 4 seconds, I think, when they fire, so it's not like you're going to instantly die. But if you get close to those things, it's almost guaranteed to hit you when you're flying straight at them. And to hit them further away is difficult. They were in most of the missions, but I decided to take them out of certainly the last mission, because they were just too frustrating to fight. They weren't fun. So I kept them in for a couple of missions. There's only a handful of them, not too many, and you've got plenty of friendlies to help deal with them. They're nice little fighters, though. I do like them as a design. And here we have the Acclimator cruiser. I do not recommend shooting at the Acclimator cruiser, because it will launch a bunch of Z95s at a very high skill level, which will only go for you, the player. And you'll very, very likely die from doing that. This is just a way to discourage the player from really attacking the cruiser or trying to destroy it.
This is 3. Order acknowledged.
So here we've got a nice big wave of escort shuttles as the Ripoblus try to defend their freighters from being captured. I made it so that it looks like the frigate Akaga is moving to engage the cruiser, but it also works out nicely that when this reinforcement wave comes in, they run straight into the frigate instead, and it creates a nice little furball here, I think. And then you can weave in and out between the frigate and help help kill the escort shuttles and all the support fighters. You may also notice that there are cloak-shaped fighters in this as well. Again, cloak-shaped fighters were part of the X-Wing Alliance stock lineup of ships, but again, just trying to keep everything a lot more varied. It's not just everyone's using Z95s and regular Y-Wings and rebel-looking ships.
Keep your distance.
Because that's not the case in Star Wars. Every faction has its own set of designs normally. We're actually quite limited in the number of ship slots we can have for new ships. Although we can insert new models, they still have to be based off an existing ship slot. So, yeah. There's only so much I can do, is what I'm trying to say, in terms of variety of ships and models. But I think we did a fairly good job in making this feel a lot more varied and a lot more interesting, and keeps things fresh, as it were. I really do like the Victory Star Destroyer model as well. It's a nice sort of evolution. You go from the Acclamator to the Venator to the Victory Destroyer to the Imperial Destroyer.
At once.
And it's the first time you see the Victory Destroyer hangar as well. Which, again, looks very nice. It's cool watching the transports fly, although when you fly out of it, it looks like you're going to slam into the opposite wall. But, you know, that's just a quirk of the engine.
You have prevented the complete destruction of the Ripoblus convoy, and in doing so have ensured we have sent a strong and clear signal to the Dimok leadership that the Empire will not tolerate any further aggression from them.
You have discovered some alarming evidence. There is no legitimate way the Ripoblus could have acquired Imperial armaments without help from someone high up within the Empire. Remain vigilant. We will speak again.
I wonder who that could be. It's not like we were told who that might be in the first cutscene or anything, but yeah. Let's go check our pilot room quickly, see what we got. So we got a poster now. Loving some of the artwork that UL002 has put into this. As I said before, it really helps add flavour to this, and it offsets some of the things that we couldn't have in the original TIE Fighter, like some of the badges and medals. Beyond that, so, but yeah. That was Battle 2, rather, Mission 1. I will see you all for the next mission next time, and until then, good hunting.